I always thought babysitting was simple. Just a quiet house, a few kids, and a clock ticking until the parents got home. That night, everything looked exactly the same. The lights were on, the TV was muted, and the house smelled like nothing had changed. But then, as I passed the hallway, I caught something out of the corner of my eye. Something small, moving, but not like a child should. I shook my head, convinced I was imagining it. Yet, my gut told me something wasn't right. I poured myself a glass of water and checked on the kids. Emma was sitting cross-legged on the living room floor, coloring quietly, while little Max was tucked into his blanket, half asleep. Everything seemed normal. I even smiled to myself, thinking about how easy this shift was turning out to be. The house felt peaceful, almost comforting. I told myself, okay, nothing weird here, just a normal night. I was folding some laundry when I heard it, a soft thump from upstairs. Probably Max, shifting in his sleep, I told myself. But then, another thump, followed by a faint creak of a door. I froze for a second, trying to convince myself it was just the house settling. Still, my eyes kept darting toward the hallway leading upstairs. Maybe I was overthinking it. Houses make noises. Kids move around. Everything was fine, right? Then my phone buzzed on the counter. It was a text from the parents. Do not let the kids stay up too late. Simple enough. But why did it feel off? My stomach tightened, just a little, like I had remembered something I should not have. I went to check on Max, and that is when I noticed the bedroom door was slightly ajar. I'm sure I had closed it earlier. My heart skipped a beat, but I told myself it was nothing. Maybe the little guy had wiggled it open. Still, a weird feeling crawled up my spine. I felt trapped somehow, like leaving the room, or even the house, wasn't an option. Then I heard it, a soft giggle from upstairs. Emma's giggle, but she was in the living room, coloring. My mind raced. Was it a toy? The TV? I could not see anything. My palms were sweaty, my throat dry. I wanted to leave, wanted to call the parents, but something in the house, something in that silence, made me hesitate. I froze in the hallway, staring at the stairs. Another giggle, softer this time, echoing from upstairs. My stomach dropped. My hands shook. I knew, without thinking, that something was very wrong. Every logical part of my brain screamed it was fine, but my body didn't care. My heartbeat was loud in my ears. I felt rooted to the spot, unable to move forward, unable to retreat. And then I heard it, a faint whisper right behind me. My skin crawled. It wasn't Emma or Max. Whoever, or whatever it was in the house, and it was watching. My chest tightened. My breath caught. I knew I had crossed the line. There was no going back now. I stepped back, my eyes scanning the hallway, when I finally saw it. A shadow slipping silently behind the doorway at the end of the hall. My blood ran cold. It wasn't a kid. It wasn't a toy. Someone was in the house. Someone who hadn't been there when I arrived. My phone slipped from my hand, and I realized the front door was locked from the inside. I was not just babysitting, I was trapped, and they had been watching me the entire time. I bolted toward the stairs, heart hammering, grabbing Max's blanket as I ran. Emma was already crying, and I scooped her up, rushing toward the front door. I yanked at the handle. It was unlocked this time, and we spilled out onto the porch, gasping for air. For a moment, I thought it was over. We were safe. The danger was behind the door. But even as we stood there, catching our breath, I couldn't shake the feeling of eyes on us. The shadow, whoever had been inside, was still somewhere nearby, watching, waiting, and I knew the night wasn't done with us yet. The next morning, I could not stop thinking about what had happened. I double-checked the locks, called the parents, and tried to convince myself it had all been a nightmare. But then I noticed it. A single footprint in the dust on the living room floor. The blanket slightly moved, like someone had been there while we slept. Even my phone felt wrong. Strange notifications, messages I had not sent, and a chilling sense that I wasn't alone, that someone still knew I had been there. The house was quiet, but quiet had a new meaning now. It wasn't peaceful, it was patient. Weeks later, I still couldn't shake it. Every creak in the floor, every unexpected giggle from the baby monitor made my stomach drop. I told myself we were safe, that the intruder was gone, but deep down, I knew better. Something had left its mark, and I could still feel it, just out of sight, just out of reach. Even now, when the house is empty and the kids are at school, I sometimes hear the faintest whisper or catch a shadow moving in the corner of my eye, and I cannot help but think it never really left. It is still there, waiting. I still babysit sometimes, but I have never been the same. Every creak, every shadow, every giggle in an empty room hits differently now. There is no lesson, no moral, just a scar, a constant reminder that some nights, some houses, and some presences are better left alone. And sometimes, when I lie awake at night, I still hear that faint whisper reminding me that I wasn't imagining anything at all.